So yesterday we did the sky, we did the clouds. Today we're going to do the water and the background land. The water is always a reflection of the sky, no matter what color it is. If it's a sunrise, a sunset, those reds and oranges are going to be reflected in the water. If it's a blue, clear day, the water's real pretty and blue, it's a reflection of the sky. If it's a cloudy day, if it's gray, guess what color the water is? Yeah, a reflection of the sky, absolutely. So we're going to do the water exactly the same way that we did the sky. So we're going to take our fan brush and we're going to scoop up a big old hunk of white paint.
Oh, man.
And just like we did with the sky, we're going to spread that on, and we're going to do that in about that middle third of the paper. All right, so I'm going to spread that out. I press down pretty hard to get the paint to move. If you have too much paint, you'll find that as you start adding color and all, it starts to slide around. So you want to press the paint and move it to the sides of the paper. As your paint starts to set up a little bit, tip into some water. I've now tipped into the water 2 different times, and I think I'm going to do it a third. Okay, now one thing you do need to do right here with the water, you guys. Yesterday with the sky, we were not as concerned about the horizon line. Now we are. Now we're going to clean up and establish that really nice, horizontal, crisp horizon line. So my brush has a fair amount of paint and water in it. I'm going to put it right up there where I want the horizon line, and I'm going to kind of drag it across, trying to keep it nice and horizontal. Believe it or not, I'm not moving my hand. I'm actually moving from my shoulder. I'm pulling across, and I want to try to make it as horizontal and as crisp as possible. If you've got some fuzz up there from yesterday, here's your chance to cover it up. You want to overlap that, because remember, we're painting from the back to the front, so now the water is in front of the sky. If you need a little bit more paint, tip into some paint. I just did. There we go. Okay, that looks pretty good. And again, just like we did yesterday, I'm not too worried about the bottom edge. If the bottom edge is kind of fuzzy, no problem. All right, making sure that the entire area has paint and that the paint is still moving. Now I'm going to add my blue. Just like I did yesterday, I'm going to tip into my blue. I haven't cleaned my brush at all. I still have a fair amount of white in my brush. This time, however, we're going to put the blue going down towards the bottom part of the paper, because remember, at the horizon line, that's where we want all of the value to be very light. So we want our darkest values to be down here closer to the beach. So I'm going to start actually down here at the bottom. And I'm going to put the blue in, and I'm going to start streaking it across the water. Like the sky, you guys, you may end up picking up more blue, and that's fine. But you do want to keep those strokes really horizontal. If you start arcing them like this, you're going to lose the illusion of the water. It's going to look like you have mountains in your water, and that's going to look kind of silly. And then as you move up towards the horizon line, you want the color to be lighter. See, I like all these streaks like this. See those nice dark blue streaks in there? And so now as I move up towards the horizon line, I'm going to kind of lighten up my stroke, and I want to keep that nice light value there. I can even keep a little bit of white up there right on the edge. Now, not a big inch of it.
Darker towards the bottom?
Darker towards the bottom. It's lightest at the horizon line, darkest as you move towards the edges of the paper. And you can see, my value gets pretty light up there at the top. To me, one of the hardest things is getting a straight line going across. Because we have painted a sunset here, we also want to go ahead and add a little bit of reflection in the water. So what I do is I tip into a teeny tiny bit of red. Barely there. And then what I do is I get up on the chisel edge so the reflection would not come forward very far. Now, if the sun was up here a little bit, then yeah, we would.
What about the clouds?
You can, if you want, you can actually put some reflection up in the bottom of the clouds. Normally, we kind of do that when we're working the whole sky and this is all wet. You would actually come in there and put a little bit. So there's my reflection in the water. It's pretty easy to get that too heavy. If you do, you guys, just tip into a little bit of white and kind of streak across, and that'll knock it back. Anytime you guys, you get too heavy with a paint color, take whatever color is underneath and put it on top, and that'll knock it back. It's a real quick and easy way to take care of it. So see there, I kind of toned it down a little bit. I like that better. Okay, so now I'm going to wash off my brush because I'm done with my fan brush for right now. Now I'm going to do the background land. First of all, it needs to be a cool color. And it also needs to be very kind of light in value and hazy looking. So a good background land color is a purple. Okay, so now we're going to make a brush mix of purple. I'm going to take a little bit of blue. Doesn't have to be a whole lot. A couple of scoops right there. I am going to clean my brush off. Kind of a Barney purple would be good. Yeah. Okay, that's a pretty good purple. I like that. Now, what I want to do is I want to add water to it. I really want to water this down. I want to paint with a pretty transparent paint. And as I put water on it, you can see it kind of get transparent here. Now, anytime you paint, anytime you do a brush mix, you guys, it's usually a good idea